Okay, so originally I was just gonna have this scripted out, but my ADD wasn't gonna let me focus. I got a few paragraphs in before I decided to just say fuck it, throw in the towel. But anyway, what I would like to discuss today is I'd like to give an analysis of Raphael's character. So, so this was brought upon me. The idea was given to me from a recent status I saw on Facebook. Well, it might not be too recent now that I'm getting to this. But anyway, the point being that that it said that it was asking why there were so many Raphael fans, despite the fact that Raphael really is just a simplistic and outright basic character. Typical hothead, big shot, badass kind of guy. This struck me. As I'm sure those of you familiar with me might know, Raphael is one of my favorite members of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cast. Top two, in fact. He's frequently tied with number one. Number one being Leonardo. So, as I'm sure you can imagine, that kind of struck me as wrong. Suffice it to say, because really, Raphael is not all that simple. He is actually fairly complex to the point where I don't know if I would be able to completely cover his character in an entire actual video, even if I were to script everything together. Like I can make a series of videos based off of him alone and just dissecting all of his actions and his feats and his commentary, etc. But I won't bore you guys to death doing that. Nah. What I'm doing today is I'm just kind of explaining why he's simple in the least. He's actually a fairly flawed and psychologically distressed character. I won't say disturbed, I won't go that far. But he's a very complex character. Alright. Very distressed. Let's start with the bias I have. I'd like to kind of give a little rundown of why I think he's a good character and why he is one of my favorites. And that would be because, quite simply, I relate to him. I know what it's like to occasionally have my emotions take over my motor skills. You, assuming you're familiar with me, or you don't even have to be familiar with me, but if you were to just try interacting with me now, especially over the internet, you wouldn't know it. But when I was a boy, when I was a kid, alright, I had a terrible time expressing how I felt, and I couldn't, to be frank, I couldn't maintain my temper worth shit. I had a very short fuse. I still kinda do, but not nearly as bad as it was before. And when I say short fuse, I'm not talking about the typical kind of aggression that would make your average drywall that would a PPO against kind of worldwide. Nah, drywall's safe for me. Uh, I couldn't handle criticism very well. Constructive criticism, whatever. And personal insults, they were a no-go to me as well. I handled them with all the finesse of a bull in a china shop. You feel me? So, um, sorry, this is off the top, and I'm doing this in one take. This is just kind of a rant for me to get this off my chest. So I apologize for making your ears bleed, but you just have to deal with this if you're interested. If not, I guess just click off, leave. That's another thing. I tend to be blunt. I do try to think about the other people's perspective, the other person's perspective, and how what I'm saying may affect them, may make them feel. But I'm also blunt too, especially when it comes to like a one-year audience. I'm impatient. I'm not about to take into consideration how many people may potentially even see this, especially considering I'm not even sure I'm going to get more than 3 people to get more than 3 views. Um, but yeah, Raph, he's not very diplomatic. He says what he feels in his heart. He doesn't often think too critically about what he says, which is fine. I don't personally recommend it now, but it that's that's just how some people are. And on the bright side, hey, it keeps you honest. It keeps us honest. But I really identify with the fact that he's a loose cannon, ticking time bomb, who's just waiting for somebody to light his fuse. So I know what it's like to go so far over the edge, so far off the deep end, that when I do finally come back to my senses, I feel like a monster, like a freak. And it didn't help that people around me perpetuated this. I didn't, growing up, I didn't have that kind of structure and support that Raphael's family provides him. In fact, I didn't really have much of a family growing up, but, I digress. Things are much better now. But, yeah, I, uh, I felt absolutely horrible after attacking people who over really dumb things. Like it was some smooth brain shit, you know what I'm saying? So when Raphael goes off the deep end, it makes me kind of happy because he's just it just it makes me feel like I'm not alone, as corny or cliche as that is to say. It did, at least. As I'm more mature now, I'm 21, and I've noticed that, a lot of people have this issue, and it's not necessarily an issue per se, but it is a discrepancy that should be used like a tool. See, this perfectly leads me to my next point. Raphael is a concept. To me, at least, y'all can disagree if you want, but to me, he's like the personification of passion, the physical embodiment of a raging inferno. That is to say that when contained, controlled, and manipulated, finally, it can be a force to be reckoned with. It can be a force that, that protects as well as defends. I guess that's the same thing, my bad. But, it's, guess what I meant to say is that it's something that can both defend and attack at the same time. It's a perfect mixture of both. Like, you don't want, not too many people are going to want to get too close to a fight unless it involves them. And, you know, the more effect it burns, the more it spreads. That's the other side of the coin, though, isn't it? It's that when it's let loose, when it's left to fend for itself, left to its own devices, what have you, it can certainly be disaster. It can take out entire forests, you know, entire cities even, really, if left untamed. Just look at California or Australia, for fuck's sake. But yeah, he's passionate, and uh, I've always felt a really strong kinship with him. Granted, this coming from me might not hit as hard, because to me, I feel a strong familial bond between all of the members of the Mata clan. You know, Leo, Raphael, Mikey, and Donnie. But it was especially towards Raph, because I felt like I understood him the most. I felt like I saw myself the most in him. So that helped. That helped a lot. And if not for Raphael, I don't think I would like characters like Mikoto Suo as much as I do. Like, I love Mikoto, I really do. He, he the few people watching this probably know exactly what I'm talking about when I say I do. But anyway, now that his concept is done, has led to analyzing the psychology a little bit. I'm already going on 10, 15 minutes right now. So I'm not gonna drive this on for too much longer. My voice is probably like a cheese grater going against your fucking head. But so um sorry. Okay. So it's 2020. Okay. It's the 21st century. People, assuming you're older than 10, then you've probably heard the word toxic masculinity thrown around quite a few times over the course of your lifetime. Quite a few is probably an understatement for, you know, the majority of us, especially if you're heavily involved into politics. Feminism, Gamergate, what have you. So, what this has to do with Raphael, if it's not obvious, is that Raphael, a lot of people see him as a manly man. He lifts weights, like sports, he likes to get shit done. He's good at maintenance, and he often resorts to violence before anything else. Which actually is not entirely true, but I'll get to that in a minute. So first and foremost, these reactions, aggression in general, is a very masculine trait. At least that's what it's can't think of the word. That's what it's related to, I guess. That's not the right word, but I'll have to do it for now. Anyway, that's what it's related to the most, is masculinity. And, you know, what makes people more stereotypically masculine is the amount of testosterone they have in their bodies. The reason we have this hormone, this testosterone, is because as men, we have historically been the predators. We've been the hunters, the gatherers. We've had to be strong. We've had to rely on our adrenaline a lot throughout her existence as a species. So that means there's a lot of fight or flight situations, because, you know, we kill to eat. We also had to kill to survive. We had a lot of predators during our day. You know, hell, we even still do. We're only at the top of the food chain due to, you know, advanced weaponry. any weaponry at all, quite frankly. But so the reason I'm bringing this all up is because we have been conditioned biologically, chemically, and atomically to be aggressive. That's how we've survived for millennia, centuries upon centuries. Okay, that's just how we've done it. All right. So, um, it makes sense that because because fundamentally we are still animals. Just because we've evolved to the point where we have civilization and advanced communication and weaponry, AI, technology in general, doesn't negate the fact that we are mammals, which, is part of the animal kingdom. And as a few people, well, several people to forget, apparently. That means that we still have all the rage and anger and, aggression that comes the, uh, with instinct to survive. Alright. That means that, it's not so uncommon for people from this day and age to be born with a little extra aggression, with a little extra rage than most people. That is especially true when, you couple those people with who have this extra testosterone, who have this surplus of anger, and you put them into an environment where it's almost like they're, in a forest again. They're almost having to fight to survive. Such as Raphael, for example, He's a mutant. He's a giant mutant turtle who, lives in the sewers of New York City. He can't just walk around like normal people. He's got to sneak around. He's got life very, very difficult. Arguably more difficult than most anyone else, really, because uh, well, I'm not really gonna get into that right now if it's not obvious, but yeah, so he has had to rely on his testosterone. He has had to rely on his aggression and his rage to get him through a lot in life. Well, there's that in his ninjutsu training, but that's beside the point. The point is, uh, you know, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Although, of course, people do know that it does need to be fixed. It is fractured, if not broken. That mentality. But he has grown more mature over the years. Uh, in literally every iteration, you've got, Mirage Comics iteration, you've got Image Comics, you've got the 87 cartoon, you've got the current IDW run, 2003, 2012, Archie, what have you, You've got all these different iterations of Raphael that are always more the ruder ones, more aggressive, more sarcastic, the more rebellious, the more I don't give a fuck type, the more I don't give a fuck archetype. So I actually don't really have too much more to say on this. Besides, this is about 20 minutes now. So I guess with that, I'm gonna leave it here. Uh, if you'd like, I'd really appreciate it if you gave your thoughts in the comments, or if you've seen me on Twitter, Facebook, etc. You can hit me up there. Let me know what you think, or thought, whatever. Uh, if you actually managed to stay around for the whole video, thanks. I really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And please let me know if you'd like any other content like this. And if so, I